Hey there, James Martin. I'm an immigration attorney with a national practice. I can help you in any of the 50 states, and I can also help you if you are residing overseas. We are here for you. One of the questions that gets asked to me quite frequently is, what is the easiest visa to get? And that's like asking how many fish are in the sea. It's almost impossible to answer that question, but let me give you some of my thoughts. The easiest visa to get is the visa that you have. What does that mean? If you have a visa like a visitor's visa, thank God, because you can at least get into the United States and you can visit the United States. But really, the visa that you want or need depends upon what you plan to do with it. So let's speak in some general terms. First, figure out what your purpose is in coming to the United States, because that will tell you what kind of visa you need. And the difficulty of the visa will be dictated by the law, the way the government is processing these visas, the philosophy of the government at the time. For example, something that was simple a year ago may be very difficult right now under the new administration. But in general terms, number two, the easiest visa or the most common visa is a visitor's visa, because the purpose is to come for a visit and the government is not too concerned about other things to do with the visa. They are just really concerned that you're truly going to visit the United States, that you're not going to come here and jump ship and just start working and abuse the status. But having said that, it's not always a super easy visa to get. If you're a young person and you don't have a lot of ties to your country, which means employment, a reason to go back, that may become a very difficult visa to get. But in general terms, this is the type of visa that you would obtain. It gets you into the United States. It allows you to explore your options. It allows you to visit your family and friends. You can go to Disney. You can look at maybe purchasing a business. You can investigate. You can see what the country's like. But now let's go on to employment visas. Employment visas are a complicated issue in the United States. You have H-1B visas for business professionals, people who have college degrees. But that's not an easy visa to get because they are numerically limited. So in my list of visas that are the easiest to get, but you have to have money, is an E-2 visa, which is an investor visa, which is a temporary visa that allows you to run your business in the United States if you meet certain criteria. But that visa may be impossible to get if your country has not signed a treaty with the United States allowing for the E-2 visa. But for people like from Canada, from Mexico, from France, they have those treaties, and that is probably the easiest visa to get. But it is also a bit complicated because you have to invest money and you have to run your business here in the United States. And then there's the issue of whether you have a nice consulate or not. But by far, the E-2 visa is the easiest employment-based visa. Why? Because the government can't mess with it too much. It is dictated by treaty. You cannot legislate away easily the E-2 visa. The other visas can be done away with under the law. But this visa exists by treaty, and it has a positive view in the eyes of both Democrats and Republicans. Now, third, let's talk about a permanent visa. A permanent visa allows you to live and remain in the United States indefinitely, and you can work for whoever you want, and you can live wherever you want. And as long as you obey the laws and you don't stay out of the country too long and you don't do something crazy, you can stay here forever. And that's what a lot of people want to do. Well, what's the easiest of those types of visas? It's a marriage case. Why? Because it's not limited in number. They can issue as many visas as they want if you're married to a U.S. citizen. But it's not always the easiest visa because it's a marriage visa. What happens if you're already married? You don't qualify. But by far, for many people who have no other options and they truly fall in love with an American citizen and want to spend the rest of their life with the American citizen, then they end up getting married and getting their green card through that process. And perhaps the second most common easy visa that is permanent is if you have children who are over 21 who are U.S. citizens. They can apply for you and you can remain permanently in the United States. So in the non-immigrant visa category, I would say, and a non-immigrant visa is, of course, one that does not allow you to stay permanently in the United States. Well, the easiest, I think, is the E2. And in the permanent green card visas, the easiest is a marriage case, being married to a U.S. citizen. Those are my 2 cents. If you have any questions or concern, yeah, fill out the form and contact us. We'll be happy to get back to you with anything that we can do to help. Thank you so much and have a great day.